Yo, so you're playing as Mongolia and trying to reform the Mongol Empire. So we're going to release and play as independent Mongolia. You're not allowed to do any shenanigans to try to destroy China while we're playing as them. We're just going to do it fair and square as Mongolia. Putting out in terms of research, we're going to go empiricism into colonization. We need colonization for that +1 maximum declared interest, because the plan is around 11 years or 12 years into the game, the Kazakh revolt happens from Russia, and these two states are going to go independent along with Olijuzh, these three states here, and that's going to let us conquer them, because Russia's going to have a war goal against them, but they'll capitulate to all wars once they get occupied, so we're going to get these states through that, and then we'll finally be able to expand. Because, being trapped in China, there's basically no other way out that I could find. And then for our other researches we'll go into line infantry, because that's going to be pretty useful, I think. Also, social mobility in our two states, road maintenance, and resource industry. Then create an army, which will put some irregular battalions into, I guess. And then after that, we'll put some logging camps into our country. We're also going to put grain on export prioritization because we want to trigger corn laws day one, export to China just to make sure we have prices high enough. This is the map I'm using to decide what is a part of the Mongol Empire. It's from Wikipedia. Okay, now we're just going to unpause and trigger corn laws. Then we're going to be sort of just waiting for a market liberal landowner to appear. Here we trigger a modern conservative. Let's see, he's 50 popularity. I think you need like at least 25 popularity to have any chance of getting the landowner is pressured, so you'd have to re-roll a couple of times on the start here in order to get a decently popular market liberal, because otherwise you're not really going to be able to pressure the landowners very easily. Anyways, this should hopefully trend high enough support for us to be able to get the landowners pressured. We shall see if it's going to be enough or not. Hopefully it's enough. Yeah, the movement's trending. Oh wait, it's already at 10 support somehow? What? So a peasant movement spawning seems to have just like instantly teleported its radical or its support up. I'm not sure if that's how this works or how that happened, but you're now pressuring the landowners. Okay. Well, I'll take it as an absolute W. We'll put the market liberal into our government, and yeah, I guess we'll go homesteading. We just need to do that. Wait, that didn't make the peasant movement angry enough? Dang, it didn't. Okay, well, I guess we'll just pass homesteading anyway. That's going to be a really nice law to get through. We've got minus 50% enactment time, so we're going to pass that uber quick. Nice 20% lower shred up loyalists and Ula Stasi. That's going to be good. Radicalism goes from... Okay, didn't actually decrease radicalism. I guess all of our radicals are in Urga or whatever. Because otherwise I don't see how that could have not reduced our radicalism, but at least it like doubled our loyalists, so that's pretty nice. Okay, we get homesteading through. Very, very nice. Is there anything else we need to do next? Yeah, we need to get off of traditionalism onto either laissez-faire or interventionism. I think we'll just go laissez-faire because long-term our GDP is definitely going to be over 50 million. I think the vast majority of this run matters because conquering China is going to give us a ton of GDP. How about we don't duel our market liberal? That would be a bad idea. Stop building army because we ran out of army to build, but put some, I guess, coal mines and stuff in our queue because once we connect the stuff, having the stuff in our states will be kind of useful, though not for a very long time. Well, our landers are so weak that we're not able to pass laissez-faire. This is crazy. We failed the passing of laissez-faire, so I guess we're going interventionism, because some of the landers only have 7% clout versus a 41% clout rural folk. I don't know how, but we're just gonna have to pass interventionism here, and yeah, because this one doesn't have a opposing from the rural folk, so it should be way easier to pass. I'm really just so surprised the landers have such few clout. It's just because everyone's not actually really working in sub-farms. The sub-farms are pretty empty. I guess we'll put the Vajrayana monks in government for a little bit more legitimacy. I guess we can go down on taxes, not really much of a gain from being high on taxes at all. Just kind of can get a little bit more legitimacy here, although we'd very much like to get over 90 if possible. Looks like landowners are gaining clout again now that we've lowered taxes and stuff. Don't really know what's causing that, but I'll take it. We just finished colonization, so we're going to put our interest into Central Asia, because we want a bit of declare on the Kazakh Khanate the second it spawns in. Let's go, we passed interventionism finally, very nice. Is our market liberal dead? What? No, we haven't invented stock exchange, that's why we can't pass free trade. That would be a fair reason. Now we could pass religious or public schools at some point, but I think we're just gonna go religious schools because that's gonna be way easier to pass than having to slowly demarginalize the intelligentsia by building a government building or something. Seems like religious schools will be nice. Just start leveling that up to level 3 or something pretty quickly here. Get the plus 30% education access. It's gonna be so nice. It's actually plus 20 because we haven't got dialectics yet, so we can't get the final level. Getting pretty close to line infantry here. Once we get that, I think we'll go for railroads and just start trying to get ready to build an economy out of the Chinese that we're going to be taking over soon, as a true yuan replacement would do first before they then do what the yuan did and conquer the rest of Mongol Empire. Now we get a popular playwright. Sure, we'll take the prestige. It'll make us able to declare a second interest. Amazing. Yeah, we could theoretically declare a war on like Chitral or something. I don't think that's going to be too good of an idea. Give us a little bit more infamy decay, but we're going to have a pretty big army to defeat things like Kokand. So we'll just figure that out after we deal with the Kazakh Khanate as our first thing to spend infamy on. Also, we get religious schools in, which is kind of nice. Level that up. Start getting our literacy up finally. We're so far above our gold reserve limit that we're only getting like 5% efficiency with our gold going into gold reserves now. Hey, the Kazakh Khanate just rose up against Russia, so we're going to declare war on it immediately, force the Diplo play, conquer both of their states, and yeah, we're just going to unpause, and we're going to get their country. Oh, we're out of things constructing. Oh, we're also out of infra, so let's not construct more. We'll just have to wait like this, I guess. So yeah, war has begun, so now it's just a matter of Russia defeating them, and then we should get their territory, in theory, into our great country. And it should happen just about, yep, there we go. The Great Mongolian State expands into the Kazakh Khanate. Now, I guess we'll try to incorporate one of these states because we want to be able to maybe move our market capital out here, I think. Otherwise, we're just going to be stuck with zero infra in the majority of our country for a while. It's going to be a pretty big problem, but I'm not really sure that there's going to be an easy way to solve that because I don't think there's really many places in the world that have North Asian heritage, except for like what here we could conquer from Japan, maybe. It's going to be tough until we can fight China. Is going to be taking a while, I think, in order to be able to fight China. I'm going to move my other interest into Persia, because I'm thinking we're going to try to attack Kabul at some point, conquer some of their states, while offering Persia Herat in exchange for joining us. I'm going to declare on Kandahar here to conquer Kandahar, and this is because Persia's getting pretty close to finishing off their war with Kandahar. So we want to call Persia into this play and kind of use them to conquer Kandahar. We'll call them in as soon as we can here, because they're gonna get return Kandahari Bomber anyway from their war, so this is actually just a no war goal, basically, that we're giving them. And then we're gonna conquer the rest of the states that it will let us from Kandahar. Okay, the war has begun, and of course Persia will carry us to victory here against the evil Kandaharians. Okay, we got our great expansion into Afghanistan, and this is going to be necessary in order to let us put an interest into Bombay, which we want to do, in order to get our coastline from Makran and Kalat. Well, I want to invade Makran. I was kind of planning on Persia joining our side, but unfortunately they don't actually have an interest here, and if we declare for this, then we won't have the war goal we want to try to give them. So we're going to just annex it all for ourselves, I guess. Seems like gonna be pretty much the only way. We're just gonna disband our armies till they teleport into Persia. And this is gonna be a little bit of a tough run, so we're gonna do lots of stuff like that to move our armies around, because our country's gonna be disconnected for a while, I'm thinking. We're gonna have to conquer our way out of China, which is gonna be pretty tough, I'm guessing. We shall see, though. Power of line infantry and cuirassiers should hopefully make us stronger than Kalat and Macron, who I'm guessing do not have those things yet, and it looks like our combined power projection is indeed higher. I'm just going to grab our 3 irregular battalions and move them to defend over here, just in case, because we don't want to get occupied from that direction. Alright, the war has begun, and it turns out they didn't assign anything to this front, so we can just set that guy on offense, and also go on offense over here. I guess we can use rapid advance, because we have enough cavalry for that. And yeah, with our cuirassiers, we should be pretty victorious over here, while also being very victorious over here, given that there are literally 0 troops. Okay, they just moved off a ton of troops from the front. Oh, this is now one giant front. Okay. Nice. Well, it's a matter of occupying Kalat now. We get in that battle. Okay. except we actually need to occupy Macron as well. The front looks equal, but I'm hoping that our higher quality troops will make the difference. If we just unlock Lancers, that's nice. We'll upgrade to that. Also, we'd kind of like to have more line infantry in this army if possible, because now we're having big org penalties. I guess we should use enlistment efforts. That would be a good way, along with, I guess, social mobility in Kandahar and enlistment efforts there. This will be a good way to increase our number of battalions, because they're all going to help us out a lot. We need all the battalions we can get in order to defeat the Macronis. Okay, well, our money situation is getting a little bit out of hand, so we just need to start pushing now. Please don't make me go bankrupt. Let's stop having taxes so low, except money situation doesn't really get fixed from that like at all. But lower mill wages. We need to do some stuff to try to solve our money situation. Demobilizing the army from winning the war should hopefully mostly solve it, because we're paying a lot for our military right now, but there's a lot of other factors that are contributing to our costs, so that's not going to fix it completely. Especially because we just got way more gov wages from that. Yeah, let's delete these new trade routes we've acquired. Don't need that, 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 that. Okay, we should be, yeah, no more trade route bureaucracy costs, which is good. Um, Still not a good budget though. Oh, we're running construction sectors. Yeah, let's not do that. We don't want construction right now. And I think. Let's not build more barracks. This seems kind of fine. We're trying to incorporate one state in each of these regions just so we can consider moving our market capitals there if we need to. I'm starting to do some trade with Russia to hopefully fix our economy. Because, yeah, we're running a big negative balance, and that's not good. I don't think there's much of a solution to this. It's very bad. Not much we can do about it, though, so kind of just gotta wait, and hopefully we can employ up buildings with making some trade routes with Russia. We're exporting iron and wood and importing tools. Unfortunately, it looks like even though we've got wood prices down a lot, they still don't want to export. Because we have to pay a 35% Russian tariff. That's actually just destroying our ability to do anything, unfortunately. Maybe we'll try to improve with Russia to try to get to cordial, and then maybe we can get rid of that tariff, because that tariff is just killing us right now. It looks like we still don't have enough. Yeah, even with an obligation, we don't have enough. Maybe when we get infamy below 25, they'll want it, but it looks like it's going to be tough to get a trade agreement with the Russians. I'm going to delete all of our barracks that are outside of Mongolia, because I'm realizing that's what's costing us so much money. It's all the barracks that are outside of Mongolia, because they are just running full shortages on all these stuff, which is just evil. Yeah, everything that claims to be in one of these states is going to go. Okay, well now we should have a significantly less bad balance now that we're doing that. In fact, we would be good if we went for interest, which is been a very severe problem recently. Yeah, we're paying a lot in interest. We do this and raise taxes. Okay, we're finally in the positive in terms of money, which I guess is a improvement. Guess we can try laissez-faire again. Looks like our landowners have gotten a bunch of clout again. Well, there's a rebellion going down in China. It looks like the Heavenly Kingdom is going to lose. It says it has bonus from relative military power as well, but if you look at the army power projection difference, China has a huge lead. So I think we're going to sway Qing for something. The question is, do we want a trade agreement or a guarantee of our independence? I think that... Do we even actually want either of these things is the question, because we are probably going to be attacking China pretty soon. I think a guarantee of independence is still going to be a good thing. I don't think it's going to help us much, but we're going to take the guarantee of independence because it's better than nothing, I think. But I've tried lowering mill wages and we're still running a negative balance right now. This is so bad. Yeah, I really don't think we can really do much more to save our budget. It's unfortunate. We're running a very slight positive balance, but we need to be running way better than this. Hopefully something has changed and we can now get a trade agreement with the Russians. I think maybe hit 50 relations. So we're going to try to get that, because I think that's going to help us out a lot. It'll let us trade infinite goods without having to worry about bureaucracy, and it will let us get around their evil tariffs, which are stopping us from making our good monies that we want from trade with Russia. We can actually, like, maybe start getting an economy going in our Mongol states, although we still need to move our trade capital before we can start truly getting going here. Yeah, we just need to do something like this. Okay, trading with Russia acquired. Now let's delete a bunch of these routes that we have with Russia now that are going to be bad, although we can keep in some of the profitable ones, because we don't have any issues with bureaucracy from them. And now budget should get fixed after bureaucracy recalculates. Now, the iron trade is still not very profitable, but it's much more profitable than it was with the tariff, at least. I think now our problem might actually be that there's not enough infra in these states. And we can remove the enlistment efforts, actually, and do road maintenance. That could help out a little bit with the infrastructure, making the iron mine a little bit more profitable, which will hopefully let us export more iron to Russia. Somehow our GDP is just crashing, so that's not good. Like, the rest of our stuff is kind of going fine, but the GDP is just going down a lot, which is very bad. I'm starting to damage relations with China, because we do want to try to attack them at some point. I think, we want to try to attack Korea, maybe, and call Russia in, hopefully, with a treaty port on Korea or something. We'll see what we can do. We got laissez-faire through, pretty nice. We kind of want per capita. It claims it'll make us a lot more money, but I don't really believe that, but I think it might make us a bit more money. Like, how many of our pops here are employed with peasants? That's actually a lot, so maybe it won't. I don't know. Okay, I think we're gonna have to build a construction sector here, and we're gonna hope that the construction sector will allow the private queue to buy some of our buildings, and hopefully if we can get out of debt like that. Okay, we're about to finish the finish the construction sector here. What? We just got so much money from privatization. That's crazy. Okay, we just get infinite privatization. I'll take it, bro. Free money. Now I've got 1 million in the 1 million in gold reserves, which is gonna keep us afloat for a while for sure. So apparently China's debt spiraling. That's incredibly lucky. We can make an opium company. Sure, it's gonna cost 350K, but I think this is a decent company to slot in. Okay, I just researched railways finally, so we're gonna start building one of those in each of our states. That's it's a lot of weeks. Oh, because the investment pool is now constructing something. Right. Yeah, that's a bit of a scam that the investment pool now wants to construct things. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Running a positive balance, I've lowered taxes and removed the consumption tax again. China is getting pretty close to bankruptcy. I think we're going to try to wait for that, and hopefully we won't hit zero infamy by that point. But yeah, the plan is just to China to bankrupt, and then hopefully have Russia on our side and invading them. Maybe there's a chance we can win without Russia's help, but it would be very tough. Okay, China declared bankruptcy. Also, we just got back below 20 because we stopped them damaging. They got above 20 and we redamaged. But yeah, they're bankrupt. We're just going to make this war pretty easy, I'm thinking. We're just going to declare for liberate Manchuria as our primary war goal. And then we're going to raise our 10 battalions and get ready to call Russia into this play pretty soon. Because getting Russia in to help us deal with Qing seems pretty nice. We'll go for a return Altai sway against Russia. Them into the play. Now, we're also going to add conquer Beijing as an additional war goal for us. Where's Beijing at in this list? It's got to be somewhere. Clearly, I have an interest in North China. Where's Beijing here? There it is. Then we also want some Qing war reparations. Inner Mongolia, and then Zongaria and Ili in order to get over to our Kazakh land. So there's Ili, and then we just need Zongaria, and we should be good. Yeah, we can also take Terran Basin if we want, I guess, but we don't really want to make them more likely to back down, I think, so we'll just primary a little bit of stuff here to make them less likely to back down, because they are bankrupt, so they are sort of likely, but I think with this much stuff primary, they shouldn't back down. We can stop damaging relations now, they're pretty low, but yeah, we're just gonna have Russia hopefully carry this war for us, because Russia's pretty strong. China would be pretty strong as well, but they're bankrupt, so they're not very strong at all. Evil Qing think they can back down. Unacceptable, China. Don't back down to me. That would be very mean. Just please don't back down. That would kind of kill us, I don't like back downs very much. Okay, looks like with that extra war goal, they're not backing down now. So that's good. Unfortunately, Russia actually doesn't have enough on this front to win it, but... Oh, they just declared on Circassia? Or they've been at war with Circassia? Okay, well, hopefully when they're done with Circassia, they'll send over some more stuff to help deal with China, because China should not be difficult to deal with. They've got declared bankruptcy, bro. Well, looks like we're winning, but it's a little bit slow. Yeah, Russia seemingly just winning almost all the battles, mostly due to China having the worst stats ever, because minus 67% from bankruptcy. How's China doing in terms of debt? They're at 3.5 million so far? Okay. That's pretty okay. They're getting like 40K a week. I think we're about to get into Inner Mongolia. Yep, now we just need to get to Beijing, and then we should just be winning, because that will mean China will start capitulating. Also, like, our furthest south war goal, I guess. China just is trying their best to hold the front, but it's not going to work. That's basically guaranteed, right? Going very much into debt, which we need to see. The more debt, the harder it's going to be for them to avoid the bankruptcy spiral. So, Kabul just declared war on me, which is not something I expected whatsoever. That is so unbelievably unexpected. Huh. Kabul allies to Persia. Okay, well, this is not great, but I think it's kind of fine. Just need to defend with our army here. Raise as many conscripts as we can. And I think we'll be fine to just defend against Kabul. With Persia in the play too, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but hopefully when we take Beijing and stuff, we'll have enough troops. I don't know, it's going to be tough. We can make, I mean, at the worst, we can make a negotiated peace, I'm pretty confident, and not give up all this stuff. We just have to give up like, everything except for a couple or something, because the AI almost always will accept a peace like that. Okay, China wants peace, so we will give it to them. And the Great Mongolian state is now much larger. And we've opened up Manchuria as a potential area for expansion. Maybe we shouldn't have liberated it, but I think it's kind of fine. The argument for not liberating it is, of course, China will eventually get subjugated by us, and if we take that, or if we liberate it, then it won't be included in that subjugation. But I think this will help us subjugate China probably a lot faster. Let's see how much they're losing per week now that they're out of the war. They're losing 70k. Okay, good. Those war reps really helping the Chinese lose as much as possible, I think. Now we'll spam some enlistment efforts in some of our states here. Also start incorporating Inner Mongolia and Beijing. Yeah, Inner Mongolia is going to incorporate really fast, and that's going to be a lot of new pops for us to be able to use. Let's start mobilizing these troops and bring them into the front, as well as adding a million more conscripts into this army with our newly acquired territories. Looks like we're managing to win defensively, which is great. We just want to try to secure a white piece here, I think, because we don't really care about Kabuli war reps, or, well, we kind of should have taken Hazaristan, but it's too late for that at this point. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We should have taken Hazaristan to get a connection, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, with this Diplo pact, we actually just have so much money. We need to build more construction sectors to use this money, is what I'm realizing. Yeah, we can build lots in Inner Mongolia and Beijing. We are going to need some violent suppression decrees there, though. Maybe let's stop social mobility there and there. And let's start social mobility here and this. That seems kind of good. Oh, let's stop our resource industry as well for another violent suppression decree if possible. Oh, we're a tiny bit short on authority, so let's just do that. Okay, that should be good. Okay, we can now secure a white piece with Kabul. Very nice. I don't know why they thought they were still outnumbering us, but they obviously weren't. Yeah, we're just gonna start building some, or we're gonna continue building our construction up. We're gonna get a decent economy going here while we wait for the Chinese to hopefully re-bankrupt themselves. The evil Han National Movement is out to get us. How dare they? No, the evil Beijingers are gonna rise up against Mongol rule, but we will just crush them, and it will deplete some of our radicals, which we do have quite a lot of right now. We should really just lower taxes. There's really no point in having taxes right now when all of our money is coming from the Chinese government. Like, basically every single dollar we have is from China. Oh, our army is trapped. Okay, let's just disband it so that I go to the right spot again. Yeah. It's crazy. Trying to trap our army by taking over Beijing. How dare they? We will stop them for this. Okay, we got back Beijing, so we can start reincorporating that again. Hopefully this time it will actually be successful. That means we actually have some amount of construction again. Our budget is still just so positive because of Chinese war reparations. Hopefully eventually we can build enough construction. This is the one disadvantage of LF. It's really slow to build up construction when you have too big of an investment pool that's taking 75% of your construction. But hey, on the bright side, China's now in 27.5 million debt, and it just keeps on going up. Well, we've lost our Chinese war reps, so our economy is now dead. But we can raise taxes and try our best to stop constructing quite this much. Let the investment pool carry us for a little bit. Use our gold reserves, and Get ready for our next China war, which is going to be pretty soon, because, China is getting into a lot of debt, so we'll be able to attack them soon once they bankrupt again. But we got stock exchange, so we're going to start passing free trade to get some free loyalists and stuff. Okay, we got free trade, which means that we get the end of the corn laws, which is going to give us 10% labor and peasant loyalists, which it gives us a bunch of loyalists and reduces our radical count a little bit, meaning Inner Mongolia is no longer experiencing turmoil, which is great. They're actually slowly going back up as we educate the people of Inner Mongolia. Okay, I'm going to declare against the Qing for the second time. It's unfortunate the infamy cost of these states is so high until we get to become recognized. There's going to be a minute still, I think, till we can get recognition, but we're just going to take Shaanxi and Qing War operations. I think we'll also take Hebei, but we just want to call in the Russians to this play. And it's going to be pretty nice. We need to get enough stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to give them Ili, but we're kind of fine with that, I guess. And yeah, we also want to conquer, I think, Hebei. Yeah, Hebei. And I think this is just going to be our war goals in this war. They're really unconfident. They actually might back down here. I think we're fine with that. It would actually depend on how much infamy we keep, but I don't think it's going to give us much infamy. I think it'll make us keep only like half the infamy cost of Shaanxi, because I think it refunds 3/4 of the infamy if you have a non-primary conquer that gets canceled when you get backed down. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's how it works. Looks like they're not backing down though. I'll just wait till the end to make sure, but oh, no, they do back down last second, and we do get seemingly exactly what I thought, which is half of the infamy cost of the primary war goal of Shaanxi. Okay, I think this is fine, although I think it would have been more optimal to fight the war. Maybe not, I don't know. It all comes down to whether China's going to be able to drop to an unrecognized regional next war, which I think the answer is probably no. Unfortunately, we're pretty far from hitting unrecognized major power status, which we really need to hit. Okay, I'm going to unpause construction, and using our Great Chinese War ups we've acquired from that, we're going to try to build up some line infantry to try to inflate our prestige, and maybe some arts academies as well to try and get our prestige up as much as possible, because we really would like to get some recognition here. We need recognition soon. We can't get it from the Ottomans. I'm not sure what we're going to get recognition from. I'd prefer to not have to do the USA revoke claims strat, but we might just need to. The USA is not really got anyone we can easily attack for that, so I'm not really sure what we're going to end up doing. Turns out it's actually the best for the government budget to just have the bureaucracy on simple org instead of doing filing cabinets, I think. If you look here, it's minus 18k versus minus 10k. We need 35 art production to get #1 art producer. That's a lot. Dang. There's a uprising happening against the Chinese here by the Koreans and Tibetans. Also, we're currently waiting to be able to cancel this trade agreement, and then we'll have low enough relations with Manchuria to fight them. I think we're gonna try to angst them because they actually have Manchus, which should be accepted pops in our country because they're North Asian heritage, just like the Mongols. Okay, China just backs down, giving Korea and Tibet increased autonomy, which is nice. Wait, Tibet didn't actually get it. Okay, a little bit weird, but it's fine. China's not in as much debt as we would hope, but not much we can do about that. Okay, we're gonna cancel our trade agreement with the Manchus and go for southern Manchuria here, and hire another general, I guess. I'm on the front. Building some arts academies, because we need these in order to be able to get to major power status. We need to take #1 in art production for that 60 prestige bonus. It's gonna help us a ton. Okay, now last second, we shall conquer the rest of Manchuria. Mwahahaha! The evil Manchurians shall die. Oh, they've got actually a decent amount of stuff. It's actually going to be kind of hard to win this war. I guess we'll go on defense at first and conscript. It looks like we're going to need some stuff in order to win this. Conscripts, we're seemingly starting to defend some battles here. It's not great, though. We'll start mobilizing maybe, or start getting org on these 3 troops so that we can potentially do a naval invasion, maybe? I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be a little bit tough to win this war, I think. Maybe we can try and attack. We want an open terrain commander, I think. Can we please get one of those? No. Okay. Maybe you can hire one from our other army. We really want an open terrain commander, because they're like really good. If you get lucky that trait in the battle, you're gonna win. Okay, it looks like we can't get any. Well, I don't want to hire infinite generals, so we'll just attack with one of these guys, I guess. You don't give any bonuses. Cautious gives a little bit of bonus, I guess, so we'll try attacking with you. We'll see how it goes. Terribly is the answer to that question of how will it go. After a bit of forcing them to attack us, we should be winning some battles now. We're winning some of the battles. We should not be attacking with quite this much. Let's just attack with one, I guess. Is cautious advance any good? No, not really. Let's keep one general on attack, I guess. Yeah, just one general. We just need to try to push into southern Manchuria so we can enforce the war, please. Okay, well, we're winning some of the battles here, which is good. Have we turned on extra supplies? Yes. Okay, let's keep that going. We need a win taking over Manchuria, please. We're gonna try our best to spike up our prestige. We just need to quickly get our fine art production up. This should be enough to get us to #1 fine art producer if it can fully employ, which I think it should. I think we're using social mobility here, right? No, we're not actually. We should have been. Oops, that's a bit of a mistake. Definitely want our literacy to be higher here. Hopefully we can still get enough employees because this day has so much pop. Hopefully we'll just be able to employ up to 45,000 people anyway. And then we can get to #1 art producer. And then hopefully that, along with increasing gov wages and going high mill wages, will be enough to get us our #1 rank. Or not #1, unrecognized major power rank, which we need. We're definitely going up in the prestige. Annexing Manchuria might help as well. We're not at any occupation in southern Manchuria quite yet, though. We lost our war reps from China, which is unfortunate. I think we only have one more war that we can easily call the Russians in with Qing Kyrgyzia. I don't really know what else we're going to be easily able to call them in with. Wait, is this enough? No. Did we lose our Qing war reps? Yeah, we did. Okay, subsidies are kind of losing us some money here. I don't know. We are losing a lot of money here. This is really not good, but yeah, once we annex Manchuria, we should have enough, and then we need to find a way to get money again. Okay, apparently as soon as I stop recording, we hit enough prestige somehow. I don't really know what changed. Did we just hit #1 art producer? That might actually be the thing. I don't know. All I know is that we hit it, so you can stop subsidizing now. Back down in gov wages, back down here. And yeah, we'll have to figure something out here to get our infamy down. Not infamy down, money up. That's what we need to do. Okay, finally we get an occupation on southern Manchuria, and now the great Mongolian state is better. Okay, we're gonna start trying to incorporate these states. It's gonna cost us a lot of bureaucracy. We're gonna need more money, so we're gonna need to attack the Chinese, I think. Okay, we're gonna attack China, liberate country, Shandong, I guess. We need something in North China, I think, in order to get France not able to join, because France, for some reason, really loves the Chinese this game. And then we're gonna add Chinese war up to primary, and then we're gonna call Russia in for whatever they desire. We need their help in order to defeat the Chinese, because they have lots of army. Even though they've had to delete a bunch due to bankruptcy and stuff, they still have a pretty strong army. So we can call the Russians in with Qing Kyrgyzia. Oh wait, I thought they would take an obligation, but no. We'll call them in with Qing Kyrgyzia, I guess. And I think this is just gonna be our war. I guess we can add some revoke claim Mongols to make them back down, because we just want some war reps ASAP. Okay, Qing backed down. Now we're making not any money, but not losing any money either, so that's something. We're spending some in subsidy. Oh, we're paying so much in gov wages. Oh, we've got universities. We should probably delete those. Yeah, let's delete them. We need the money for now. Let's make sure that swapping up government administrations isn't worth it. Let's just take a Monday real quick. But positive 3K. If we do filing cabinets, we are at minus 22K, but paper is in a shortage. How are we making so little from income taxes? Wow. It's so little money. Yeah, okay, well, I guess simple org is still the play. Okay, I've got a bit of a plan for recognition. We're going to invade France to liberate Mascara and Ait Abbas from them. And I don't think we can take war ups because they've got nothing overseas incorporated. I mean, maybe we can. I don't know. When I tested, the Pisky mobilized nothing, so we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna declare for liberate Ait Abbas, and then we're gonna add in as an additional war goal, liberate Mascara, and then Oh, we have revoke claim Mongols against them that we can do. That would be pretty free. So yeah, let's add one of those. And then we can add a war operations if we want. Matter of can we enforce that? Okay, we need to build a navy. So we're gonna import some man o' wars from Russia, and then build a one frigate navy, which we're gonna use. We'll naval invade into Algeria, which is gonna be very necessary. I just realized we have bad relations with Russia. Uh-oh. We need good relations with them in order to get recognition. So hopefully we can get that in time. Okay, we've got our one troop, which we'll use the naval invade into Algeria with. And or wait, let's actually fake this naval invasion into going like Brittany or something to make them less likely to mobilize Algeria and stuff. And then we'll see if they naval invade us or whatever. We'll see what happens overall. Looks like no naval invasions are going into us yet. Gonna wait a little bit and see what's going on. Right now, just need to land, yeah, French Algeria in order to enforce our liberate war goals here. Okay, they just started moving their navy away from the Algeria block, so we're gonna go for the landing now, and hopefully we get in. Yes, yes, we're in. We're so in. Yes. Rapid advance, rapid advance. Make a fourth general. Need everything you can get. Try to rapid advance through Algeria ASAP. No, yes, we're in. Okay, I was scared that we fought a battle at the end there or something. But it looks like we're fine. Need to speed run through Algeria before they can get to the front. Yes, we're through. Nice. Okay. Now, since they're not nail invading us. Oh, wait, they are nail invading us. Never mind. Well, let's defend that. But also, let's try to send you over to Algeria to try to defend that. Because that's going to be bad if they try to land it. Looks like with our army defending nail. Oh, they've got another naval invasion they're trying to do, but that one has nowhere near enough lander, or it has nowhere near enough boats, so we should be able to defend against it pretty easily, hopefully. Um, let's just delete the conscripts from this army and then send them into the other army, because that should help us out a little bit if we just add a bunch of conscripts here, because that army's pretty far away from landing probably anyway. And then hopefully, with all this, we should be able to defend till France is willing to accept a peace deal. The French are making good progress in landing Beijing, so we're going to take off a couple of the infantry battalions that are guarding here, send them back to North China, because we're going to need to defend against that naval invasion as well. Got to defend against the dual naval invasions here. It looks like we're still holding Algeria for now, which is good. I think we should be able to defend against this with just 37 troops, right? Because they've got less than that in Navy. We should be fine. And we're defending Beijing. And we're defending Port Arthur. Great. Yeah, they even rolled poor visibility. They should have like a minus 100% offense or something. What do you mean they have minus 96 and they have 16? I guess their troops just have big pluses. Yeah, they've got pretty big pluses and they're using shrapnel. I'm trying my best to avoid getting landed here, so we're going to start passing pro army in order to try to help out with that, because things are not looking too good. We're getting landed pretty badly here. Hopefully the pro army power, or plus 10 defense offense will hopefully help a little bit with that, but it's really not looking great. We need higher relations with Russia faster if possible, but that's not looking very possible, unfortunately. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do this. They need to, yeah, enter Mongolia in order to start taking us on war reps, which is gonna happen pretty soon, so, uh-oh. Not good. They're definitely landing us. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Okay, well, they're in now. Um, we'll take off, like, 10 troops from here to help with that, because it's, like, super necessary to deal with this. We need it, like, now to be gone. If it gets into Inner Mongolia, we are just dead, basically. Yeah, this is really bad. Hmm. Okay. Are we actually just not going to get recognition here? Because we need to improve relations 3 more, and they need to just get into Inner Mongolia. I mean, maybe we can do that. It's not looking good, though, because once this army lands, we're just dead. This army is slowly landing. We need to get to 50 relations with Russia. We're getting pretty close, so maybe it's doable. Need to hold off the Shengjing landing as much as possible. It needs like 3 more battles, actually, so maybe we're fine. Come on, please, Russia. Okay, we're close. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay, just need to get to 50 relations with Russia real quick. And Propose peace deal, and we should be recognized. Yes, we are. Let's go. Let's go. Big nice. The Mongol economy is not doing well. We're making a little bit of money, but it's all coming from Chinese war operations. I'm really not sure how to fix this, except for maybe we just like delete all the construction, or maybe we just like delete all the government administrations. That just seems so bad. I don't want to do that. I think we just need to like hope that in the long term the economy will be saved somehow by like protecting Qing or something. We need to find something to solve our game right now. My evil ruler is imposing. How dare he? He's at 74 at least, so he's gonna die soon and be replaced with this guy. He's a little bit better. Okay, China has just declared bankruptcy again. I'm really hoping that they're gonna drop to unrecognized regional power this time. Okay, they're 60 prestige away from getting back to unrecognized major. That's probably gonna be enough for them to drop. I think it'll be enough. And then we can just try to get them back down and be fine. I think this might be our way to salvation. Okay, we're gonna liberate subject on Korea, and this is because China has them as a subject, and China just dropped to unrecognized regional. And now Korea is gonna join our side, breaking the war goal. Except now that they've bricked the war goal, we can now add China Protectorate. Now the reason we're adding China Protectorate here instead of just declaring it normally is if we declare normally it's in South China. Manchuria is a way better strategic region because we can call Russia in, which is our best friend. And there's also some countries that could get called in if we were in a different strategic region. And we don't like those countries, so we want to avoid them if possible. So yeah, all in all, this is going to be the best way to declare the war, I think. And then we'll raise some conscripts here. We'll add in a Qing war operations, extra war goal. Yeah, Joseon abandoned us for some reason. And then we're going to sway Russia to our side in exchange for a military assistance, which actually means they're going to militarily assist us. And then we're also going to add in as war goals revoke claim on Eastern Guangdong and revoke claim on Beijing. Now they might just back down, probably won't, I don't know. They've got to defend the borders, so maybe they will. Whatever, regardless of outcome, we're just going to walk through their country and try to enforce our war goals. We're also trying to go for multiculturalism right now. We're 13 months away from human rights, so we can get this Han national movement to go away and stuff. And we'll also be preparing some naval invasion spam in case they take troops off of their strategic regions or something. And we'll quickly try to occupy Tuva to try to get any Russian soldiers that try to go there to go to the more useful front instead. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tough war, but I think we should be able to win it. I demand that you back down to my play. Good job, China, for following my demand. Some could say that I knew that they were going to follow that demand because I reloaded after it happened, but they'd be right, so I can't really call them wrong. But anyway, we're going to puppet China, grant some states over to Korea so you can reduce autonomy on them as well, and overall just have a pretty nice nation here. Puppeting China gives us an insane amount from Diplo Pact. I'm really not sure if we want to annex China or leave them as a puppet. I think we'll probably have to annex them at some point in order to be able to go high infamy. I don't know. It's really tempting to just leave them here, but that feels like the wrong move. It's a tough choice, but it's one we have to decide on and answer to. So I made the decision that we're not going to annex China at least yet, until at least we like can use all of our current GDP. I don't think annexing China is going to be worth it. It's just going to be a ton of pops that we're never going to employ, I think. So we're just going to leave China here for now. We might annex it later. But the amount of money it's like giving us is not insignificant. 86k is an insanely large amount of money. It's not all coming from China, but a lot of it's coming from China, and more will come from China once they reincorporate the states that we had to give to Korea as well. But for now, we're just going to build up some construction with all this money that they're now giving us, and we're going to try to employ up our couple of states that we have what's used because, you know, we've got Shaanxi and Beijing as our states still. Okay, we got human rights. What do we want to go for next? Maybe we go steel frame building. That's always a good tech to go for at some point. Always need that tech. Also, let's use our human rights for its one purpose, going multiculturalism. Do we have surely yeah. Let's start bolstering the Han national movement, I think. Yeah, it's only got 34% support within its thing, so we can definitely get more if we bolster it. Bolster Han national movement. We might want to try to suppress the religious movement they're associated with. No, it looks like there isn't a religious movement they're associated with. Well, we're just gonna try to pass multiculturalism now. Also, we could try to create a power block, I guess. Sovereign Empire, uh, go vassalization 1, and I guess we'll start trying to improve with some GPs now, because or we need some friends. Like France would maybe be a good friend at this point, because we don't need to fight France anymore, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's name this power block the Mongol Empire, even though it's not done yet. This is what we will have when it runs over. The Great Mongol Empire. Who knows why the text hasn't changed? I think we need to change the color, and then the text on the map will change. Let's do this a tiny bit. Yeah, now it shows Mongol Empire. I don't know why I have to change the color to do that. I'm feeling really good about how our economy's doing. We're finally starting to grow our GDP after we got that Chinese protectorate. I think if we'd gotten it much later, the challenge would be very much at risk of loss, but I'm feeling pretty good right now about being able to win right now. What is going on? Is there a war between Great Britain and Raj right now? India wants increased autonomy, and Canada? Interesting. Yeah, that war goes. Okay, I think going filing cabinets is gonna make more money for us now than it will lose. Let's see, minus 33K, really? Well, surprising. I think we're gonna stick on it anyway, so we can finally start running positive bureaucracy. Even though it's a little bit less money, seemingly. What's this? Yeah, it shouldn't be that much cheaper, or it shouldn't be that much more expensive, I think, but apparently it's pretty expensive. Actually, I don't know, but we're kind of doing fine. Hopefully we can get multiculturalism through soon. Okay, we got multiculturalism. Big nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna build a uni stack in Beijing. Build like 20 unis, upgrade them to the philosophy department tech. I think that's gonna be pretty good for us in terms of trying to get our innovation going, because we're still at the minimum of 50, which is not great. We definitely want to try to start pumping those numbers up at some point here, and I think now is probably gonna be roughly that point. Well, with our unis, we're now running the innovation cap, although I think we might go below it once we lose our 25% throughput from one of the events, but it's still nice. We're getting towards steel frame buildings quite a bit faster to do that, and we're getting a little bit of tech spread as well. All pretty nice stuff. Might research some other stuff before we finish steel frame. I don't know. The Mongolian economic miracle is real. We're growing our economy real well. So there's a revolt going on in Qing. We're gonna have to give their country away like now, cause yeah, I'm not accepting losing China to a split of the country. That would be a guaranteed loss of the game if we accept a China split up via the event. So we're going to give up China to Tibet real quick. We really gotta hope these guys can incorporate China, or will start to try to incorporate China, or else there's going to be a huge amount of budget that we're going to be losing from doing this. Or we can just try to give it back after the revolution. I don't know what we'll end up doing. We'll probably have to just try to give it back. Because, yeah, this is going to be pretty unfortunate that we've got to give all this stuff over to Tibet. Okay, yeah, the Qing modernization movement's turning towards 100 activism, and Tibet seems to not be incorporating these states, so we'll have to try to give it back to China after the revolution's over. Also, we just got steel frame buildings. Nice, we'll go into civilizing mission next. And we'll start slowly swapping up to steel frame, I guess starting with this Inner Mongolia one. Okay, explosives are our first need in order to swap up, so let's start building some explosive factories. We actually have sulfur here. Wait, no, we don't. Where do we have a lot of sulfur? I'm trying to think. Shaanxi has sulfur, but we still have or no, the steel construction efficiency is gone here, I think, so we can build some sulfur and explosive factories here. So it has, for some reason, just deleted China. That's really weird. Okay, well, that's really weird. I guess we'll just go for a protectorate play on these guys. This makes no sense, but it's fine. We'll just enforce mill access on Tibet and protect these guys. I'm so confused how this happened, but I guess we now have a Republic China. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're winning pretty well into southern. Okay, and China's now a protectorate, so we're gonna grant Tibet states back to China because China will actually incorporate them. The reason our budget is so bad is because of the lack of the Chinese subsidy that we were getting before. So we're gonna try to restore that money back by giving China back their country. Oops, I actually gave Dzungaria away, even though that was one of our states. Doesn't really matter, but it's a little bit of a mistake. Okay, now China should start incorporating. Yes, they are. Great. For some reason, the Russians are losing a lot of money. I'm all for it. Why are they losing so much money, though? I'm so confused. Are they in, like, some giant war right now? Oh, they're in a war, but I still feel like that's an insane amount of money to be losing every week. Like 19.4 million, and next week they have 19.9 million. They're losing 500k a week. Yeah, we're gonna go for our first war in a very long time, because we've finally run out of infamy for the most part. So yeah, we'll start attacking Kabul, annex them, because they're part of the territories we need to conquer for the Mongol Empire. Okay, Kabul just backs down and gives us Herat. Interesting. I don't know if that was the play for them. I mean, it was, I guess, but it's a little bit annoying that Kabul just does that. And then they immediately go into a civil war, so I guess it's fine that they did that, because otherwise we would have wasted infamy. For some reason, Lanfang just keeps getting in a million civil wars. Some would say it's because I have 0 convoys, and they'd be right, but I'm still mad that they keep getting in civil wars. I think Russia might be defaulting soon. They're still losing a lot of money because they're in some random war with the Lahej, and it's costing them so much money. I don't know what the Russians are doing, but I'm going to be very happy if the Russians just were to just randomly declare bankruptcy. That would be very convenient for me. Otherwise, we're going to have to do some market isolation of the Russian capital and stuff. Good shift work, I guess. We're just trying to get as many techs as we can to start supercharging our economy. We're doing pretty well. We just hit 50 million GDP. I'm gonna go for a protectorate on Persia, I guess. We'll see how that goes. I think it's gonna go pretty well, surely. Gotta try and mobilize some conscripts for this war, probably. Also, hopefully our ports will get built, because that's gonna be kind of necessary. Got quite a lot of negative convoys right now. Dude, lingering convoy rating in the Yellow Sea has been here for so long. Oh, China sides against us. I'm gonna go for protectorate on Persia here. It's our next war. That seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Gonna add some war reps, ban slavery, and revoke claims, I guess, just to make them more likely to back down to our play. The evil Koreans have sided against us because I didn't give them exemption from service like I gave China. Dang, how dare they? Well, I think we should put them down. Let's actually just start making new battalions. We kind of need them anyway. Have we got general staff yet? Surely we've got general staff. We are about to get general staff. Okay. We become a great power finally. That's nice. How's the Korea front going? Not well. Oh, the Persians have troops in Korea? What are they doing? Okay, well, I guess we'll go on the defense here. Also, let's upgrade everything because we've got skirmish unlocked now, and let's also turn on general training. It's crazy that we got so unlucky with tech spread that it's 1899 and we just got general training. It was the last military tech we spreaded in tier 2. Also, we're getting unlucky because we didn't make it to this front in time, and yeah, it's front spaghettiing a lot, unfortunately. As long as I don't take Baluchistan, we should be fine. Oh, we've got one troop here. Please get on the front to defend so that we can hold Baluchistan just a little bit longer. And this 3 troop. With these guys, maybe we can hold it for long enough. Please, 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 please. Oh, these guys are not even faster there, really. Okay, well now we're defending correctly. Good. Looks like the Russians have stabilized their debt at roughly 70.7 million. It's not moving anymore, seemingly. Let's just wait one more Monday tick. Yeah, it's not really moving. Unfortunately, we aren't able to damage relations with Russia, really, because they're improving. But I hope that clearing all the Central Asian stuff and protecting the Ottomans will be enough relations hit. I think it should be. Big revolt in China. Okay, Persia is starting to die here, so let's just enforce these war goals. Very nice Persian protectorate. Now our army's teleported back to North China, so we can go on the front and take over the Chinese peasant revolt. This is actually a good thing that this revolt happened, because it's going to destroy a bunch of radicalism, which is destroying how much money the Chinese could make, and the less turmoil, the more taxes they'll make, which means the more Diplopact we will receive. So, very nice thing to have a revolt go on over here. Okay, and now we're about to get China annexed again, so our budget should fix itself. Yeah, down to a more reasonable amount, although it's still not great. Okay, now it looks better. Nice. Still not as good as I would have hoped, but it's a fine budget that we can handle. Hopefully our GDP can go back up to its peak at like 56 million. I don't know why it's lower now that we've got China in our market. Maybe we need to wait a little bit for prices to adjust and stuff again. I'm going to start passing proportional taxation. It's going to be a little bit of an increase in money, and I think it might make building taxation capacity in Beijing worth it, given we've got quite a lot of GDP here in Beijing. Oh, also Inner Mongolia might be worth it too. It's going to help us out a lot to get in proportional taxation here. Get a strike wave in Shaanxi. Also, you pass prop tax. Pretty soon we can invade Kabul to get a land connection over to Persia. You might not think this is... Oh, well, good thing we didn't invade Kabul yet, because another civil war has started in Kabul. Crazy. But yeah, we also got prop tax, so I think we'll go up a tax level, right? That seems like a good idea with prop tax. I think we can afford it. It's going to give us 103,000 revenue, which is a pretty good increase. And this is going to end up giving us more loyalists than radicals, because a huge fraction of our pops are still peasants, which don't really get much of any taxes from this. I think we'll take an opium consumption tax. We're making 25k from tax revenue in Beijing, spending 14k on government administrations, and a bit over half is coming from government admins in terms of the tax capacity. So it's very close. How much better are the higher level government admins? You can swap up to that. It's going to be, I think it's going to be better. We'll try and figure out if it's going to be efficient to build government administrations here or not. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's going to be efficient, so we'll build like 25 more government administrations in Beijing to start getting that tax capacity used up. Guess we might as well put on some other consumption taxes like services. Consumption taxes are more efficient than normal taxes when you have a taxation capacity deficit, which we do have a very large one in states like Beijing and Shaanxi currently. We don't want to build one in Hainan. Oops. Oh, Kabul is a Russian protectorate. That is a bit of a problem. Well, I guess we're just going to go invade Kokand. Yeah, well, good for the capital, I guess, to make them less likely to back down. I think this is the capital. And try to conquer the rest of their country. I think these guys might be bankrupt, so we might want to try to primary some more of these war goals. Let's make sure. Yeah, they are bankrupt. And they have a lot of loans. Maybe we want to try to primary some stuff. Yeah, let's primary it all, actually. Don't want to risk trying to fight these guys again, really. Oh, this is a little bit annoying. We'll just enforce mill access on China. Okay, now we've got a bunch of spare bureaucracy. We'll start passing public health insurance. That'll be a nice law to get through. Also, we need to quickly enforce mill access on China so that we can actually occupy Kokand. We got stonks. I think that's for making companies productive. Yeah, okay. Well, I think our next war is going to be against the Ottomans, but after that, I think that... Oh, that's protected by Britain. We'll have to find something about that. But yeah, we can't attack Bukhara because Russia's going to protect them. So I think we're getting pretty close to where we're going to be attacking Russia soon because we gotta start trying to bankrupt them. Their debt is slowly going down, which is a bit of a problem for us. Apparently, Great Britain conquered half of Japan. Crazy, bro. Okay, we got public health insurance. Very nice. We'll start leveling that up. Help increase our SOL. And almost get our first mandate. I think we'll probably go militarized industry like the Alaska run, because I think we're going to be building a lot of military soon in order to go high infamy against Russia and whoever else decides to go against us, but mostly Russia and the UK, I guess. Okay, we got our first mandate. We're gonna go militarized industry. I think it's a pretty good principle for that minus 15 mil goods cost. Okay, I'm gonna start passing professional army. I mean, mass conscription is like a decent option here, but maybe we actually should pass mass conscription. No, I've convinced myself that we're passing mass conscription instead, actually. Never mind. Okay, we can go mass conscription, the best law ever. Gonna give us lots of battalions. Oh wait, India got independence? Nice. That's very nice for us. Gonna make the British a whole lot weaker for sure. GDP is collapsing a little bit. I guess they got the Indian national movement or something going on here. Pretty nice for us. Mass conscription is going to give us 475 conscripts and the ability to build way more barracks. I'm going to invade Oman. You might wonder why we're taking the state of Oman, because that's not in the region. But it's because the Ottomans are likely to join, and the Omanis are very likely to back down. So the plan is the Ottomans are going to join. Then we're going to primary full annex on Oman, and then we're going to protectorate Ottomans as a war goal, because this way we can dodge having to fight the UK, hopefully. Yeah, so now we just add these 3 war goals against Oman real quick. Primary, primary, primary. And that should be Oman just full annex. Let's look at this quick. Yes, it would be annexed if they back down. Now we're going to add Ottoman Empire Protectorate, and that's going to be pretty good. Should just be able to get a pretty easy protectorate on the Ottomans here. While we get mass conscription going, going to be very important as a law to be able to go high infamy. Without that, we are just not really going to be able to go high infamy very much. Okay, well, the war has begun. Okay, conscripts are being raised. The front isn't looking that great for us yet, but hopefully we can win it. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Exactly, nothing bad could possibly happen. It will all be perfectly fine. We just need to win on the Ottomans, and then we'll have a lot of our stuff. Pretty much all will be done except for Russia. I mean, we've got like a tiny bit to take from India and Britain, but not really that much. Okay, we've gotten mass conscription, the greatest law ever. 450 battalions can be mobilized, plus 100% training rate, plus 3% conscription rate. Very great stuff. We will start preparing with some shrapnel artillery in our various states here, now that we've got way higher conscription limits. We'll definitely take advantage of that here. Get loads of shrapnel already in the conscription. And yeah, we're going to be using the stuff to go to war with Russia soon, I think. Probably very soon, actually. I don't know. I don't know. We need to figure out what to do, because I don't really want to go high infamy yet. I don't think we have nearly enough power protection for that quite yet. The Ottomans should be getting pieced out, right? No, they got Oman as a protectorate. Oh, okay. We need to land this. Okay, Korea is landing this, as it turns out. Nice, Korea. Good job. Okay, there's a navy there, apparently. Let's send our navy there to help defeat it, I guess. We need a bigger navy, really, if possible. So let's, they're building that. Like, 5 man o' wars, 10 frigates, 10 man o' wars? Why is that not actually getting queued up? I don't know. Okay, it looks like it is getting queued up now, but that's gonna be pretty good. Okay, we're landing in Oman. Okay, we're in. Now these guys should finally start capitulating. Yep, there we go. The Ottoman Empire is now part of the Mongol Empire. Very nice. Start improving relations. Queued up a couple of barrackses, just 485 barrackses in the queue. Give us an army that should be strong enough to hopefully go high infamy with no problems. We could definitely afford a lot more construction right now, but I'm just going to leave it as it is because we're going to need to have a very large army mobilized very soon, because as our battalions come in, once they're done, we will be going into some very large wars against Russia and the UK and stuff. So we need to be able to do that. We've got like 4 armies or something that are coming up with a lot of battalions, I think. So we got to be ready to use those 4 armies very effectively. So India started a diplo play against me for Baluchistan. Um, okay, well this wasn't what I expected at all. I guess we'll fight India now. Oh, what do you want to take? I want to take Kashmir and Indian Pashtunistan. Oh, Kashmir is going to be a lot of infamy as well. No, it's not. Okay. I guess it's unrecognized. Yeah, so that makes sense. I took these 2 states. I think that's all we need from India in terms of border cleaning up. Maybe there's more. I'll check on my map later. I don't really want to right now. Got some Indian war reparations as well. Make them less likely to back down. And then we will start mobilizing a little bit to deal with the Indians on the front. We should have enough to defeat them, even though they do have a million puppets, so maybe not. Well, I think we will. Okay, we just occupied our war goals. Pretty nice. There's also a surprising amount of power projection on the Indian side, just because they've got so many subjects that are in this war. Look at how many subjects they have. It's a quite insane amount. Between all their subjects, they've got 450 plus 380 battalions. It's quite close to our 803 plus whatever. Although ourselves only have 576 plus 411, which isn't that much better than what they have, really. Okay, India's willing to accept peace. Very nice. Get some extra territory now. Start incorporating this stuff. It's going to be pretty nice. Have to do a little bit higher GDP. Now I think it's time to attack Russia. Okay, I'm going to declare war on Russia for conquer Pskov. Now, in a past universe that definitely didn't happen, I did this war, except I humiliated Russia, and that was the worst idea ever, because we actually want to try to declare on a million countries after this to try to force Russia to fight us in more wars, and humiliating them makes them unable to join those other wars against us. So that was a big mistake. Don't do that unless you want to die and be sad. So anyway, we got our 3 war goals there. We take some Russian war reparations as well, and I think we're going to liberate Ukraine, because this is actually going to be pretty tough to defeat Russia. I think something like this is going to be a pretty decent peace deal, and then we'll take, I don't know, some random states, let's see here, Russian Turkmenia and Russian Merv, I guess, will work out pretty okay for us, and yeah, we're going to use our army to fight this terrible war against the evil Russian Empire, which shall fall. We're gonna keep this 163 stack at home in order to defend against any naval invasions that Russia or a cut down to size opponent may throw at us. We're going to grab 15 skirmish infantry and 15 shrapnel artillery into a new army. We're going to use to naval invade into Russia. We'll put this army in the Arabia HQ because I think it's our closest to Russia. And then we'll also grab a navy and put that over here, which is where we're going to use a naval invade to. Now, Russia's got some people they can call into this war. We'll see how many people they end up actually calling in. So far, Austria and Egypt have joined them. France might be joining. We shall see. Russia does have limited maneuver counts, so they might not sway in that many people. They're already down to only 37. Oh, we're gonna pause construction because we need money. Also, militarized industry too will help us get more money as well. We just need everything we can to save money so that we don't go bankrupt. Okay, war has begun. We're gonna begin a naval invasion on Ingria, and we're just gonna put a bit of win some battles here, hopefully. China's in the war. Russia added liberate China. Yep, okay. Nice. Okay, well, they've got quite a few guys defending this now, so we're going to go for a naval invasion on Arkhangelsk now instead. And we'll try to push out from there. Push on the Eastern Front. Looks like it's doing pretty well. I guess it's our Western Front, or Northern Front, you could say. But it's their Eastern Front. I don't know why we haven't been declared on for cut down to size. In my totally non-existent other world where we actually humiliated Russia, in that world, we got cut down to size, like, instantly. Okay, we're landing in Arkhangelsk. Looks like they're actually moving away a bunch of their troops from defending this. Maybe we just try to land Ingria with that just sitting there. Yeah, let's fake land Kovno to make them less likely to defend, and we'll just kind of go with all of our troops to land Ingria. And this looks like this is just going to be a pretty good strategy as long as we arrive there before they can deoccupy this, which I think might be possible. Okay, and about to arrive, so let's quickly swap the invasion spot to Ingria, and we're in. Nice. Let's move a 199 stack in here. I don't know if it's gonna arrive in time, but hey, it's sort of an idea. Maybe let's split this. We'll keep a second general here so we can split it if we want. It depends on if people will arrive on this northern front. Looks like no one with generals is arriving there, so we can be fine there for now, because if they don't have generals, they won't push. Also, we're just gonna give up on this Greece war because I don't think we need any of these states for the thing, and we're kind of busy in other wars right now. So yeah, Greece, you get to be free. Oh, Germany has finally started their cut down to size play against us. It took a while, but it's finally happened this time. Yeah, the Egyptians just don't have a general on that army, so we don't really have to worry about getting pushed. Russia's getting somewhat close to capitulating. They're like halfway there, so it's gonna take a little bit till we can get peace. Okay, we're starting to. Oh wait, yeah, we're definitely gonna start losing battles. So what we're gonna do is put as many conscripts as we can into this army. Probably gonna disband some conscripts from some of our conscription-based armies, which I think should be this one. Oops, this one. Yeah, so just like bleed a million conscripts from here, and then go into that 35 stack and raise conscripts from it. We'll just add in a million conscripts here, and all the conscripts from the other army should hopefully just teleport here, or they'll start getting re-recruited. Something like that will happen, and that should just be really nice for us to defend Ingria. Okay, we'll sign everything except for Russian Merv now, and that's our first peace with Russia achieved. So now next, I'm going to declare on Bukhara for Uzbekia, and Russia should hopefully join against us in this play. And we're just going to kind of sit here and we'll occupy this bit of Germany, I guess, and we'll use this as our staging ground for our next Russian invasion, which I think Russia should join against us in this play, and so should be able to invade Russia again very soon. Unless, yeah, okay, Russia does not, or Russia does side against us here, which is what we were hoping for. How's Russia's debt looking? They're at 12 million. That's not great. We need more debt for Russia. More war reparations. Now we're just gonna start conquering into the heartland of Russia, maybe. Really creating a military treaty here would be a pretty enticing offer, but I think we're just gonna avoid doing that for now because we want to keep militarized industry too, and because that'd be kind of lame. I don't know. Yeah, we want to take Smolensk. We're gonna go through and take all the sort of heartland states of Russia. Oh, actually, these guys are in bankruptcy, so we might want to try to full annex them in order to ensure they don't back down. We're probably not going to get too much from Russia in this play in order to make sure that no back down happens. So we've got 25 more maneuvers to work with, and we can go for one more state with that. So we got Smolensk. We'll go for Tula. Okay, there's Tula. We get it. Also, after this tech, we should actually rush philosophical pragmatism for that extra 10 maneuvers. That's going to be pretty useful. We got 50 guys to defend our back while we use this 133 stack to invade Russia here. Also, put these guys on raid convoys so we can try to destroy the Russian supply lines. In case you're wondering why we aren't just declaring more wars to try to get Russia in them right now, it's because Russia has plus 200 neutrality from being at war with us. Okay, we're trying to regain morale if possible here. Looks like we've got good morale. Okay, let's... Wait, do you guys... Oh, these guys... No. Okay, I don't know how they regained so much morale so quickly, but now that we've got good morale here, we should be able to push very quickly, because we were just lacking a whole lot of morale. Now we've got 80 advantage. We should just be able to push easily into Ingria against 15k troops with 87k. It should be a breeze to get into Ingria finally. Taking a little bit here because we were lacking a whole lot of morale. You can see we've got a pretty large invasion of Russia going on here. Okay, we should finally get occupation of Ingria. Yes, we do. Oh, Britain's attacking Russia as well. Southern Turkestan. They want Kabul. Okay, great. Great job, Great Britain. It's actually terrible for us, I think. But it's fine. Okay. Russia, give me my war goals. Thank you. Okay, Russia, do you care about that Britain war enough to not want to go to war with me again? You do. Dang. Well, we're going to wait for this Britain war to end then. Maybe attack Britain in the meantime. Yeah, we're going to go for a quick little invasion of Britain to knock them out here. Punjab, we need... We want Trucial Hormuz. Is Trucial states even in the play? Let's take a look here. Are you in the play? It looks like you are. Okay, so Trucial Hormuz. Let's look for that. It's there. Okay, great. Now we want Zaristan, Kabulistan, Pashtunistan. What else? Quetta? I saw that. I think that might be everything here. I think that is. Let's just primary this all so that Britain cannot evilly back down to our play. And then we don't have British war reps. That might make things a little bit tough. So let's just do this as our war goals. Yeah, that seems fair. Russia's debt is slowly climbing up by like 300,000 a week, which is roughly equivalent to us, but we have got a much larger debt ceiling to them, I think. Yeah, we've got 153 million, and they should not have 153 million, I'm pretty sure. I expect this Britain war to end up being a white piece, because I don't think Britain's going to enforce conquer southern Turkestan. They just lost an offensive battle into Kabul, and very soon they're about to lose the ability to fight offensive battles into Kabul, because all their land adjacent to it is going to get occupied. Apparently the British have decided to infinitely land Korea, so let's go and move some troops into defending Korea. They're about to get into Korea to defend them, because they're failing to defend themselves, which makes sense, because Britain is nail-biting them a lot. Okay, we get 3 more naval battles. Win, win, win. Now that we've arrived. Russia's in default. Let's go! So that means as soon as this war gets white pieced, we will be able to... Or Russia will bankrupt, and then a year later we'll be able to subjugate them. Let's go! That's pretty much the final thing that was... like a thing we needed to have happen. And now it's just gonna be playing out the last, like, 10, 15 years, whatever, to do this. Oh, it looks like Great Britain and Russia have white pieced. So Russia is now bankrupt. And yep, they're trending towards 91 prestige. Or they're at 91 prestige, so they're going to trend towards a minor power, probably. Hopefully that's not the threshold for a... Yeah, so they aren't going to drop to because if they drop to below minor power, then they will bug out when they start dropping to minor power. It'll reset the timer, which is really annoying. Britain's here. Oh, Britain managed to get southern Turkestan somehow, and now they're here. Okay. Not good. Stop Britain from taking their land back, please. Uh-oh, I think they've occupied some of their land back, but we should be able to take it back pretty easily, given we've got way more troops over here than they do, and these troops have zero manpower at all, pretty much. Okay, somehow Britain's still ticking. I guess we deoccupied whatever was stopping them from ticking, or maybe nothing was actually doing that, and I was just crazy. I don't know which one's true, but you can believe whichever one you choose to believe. All I know is that we're going to be getting a nice little enforcement on Britain pretty soon here, which is going to be very nice for us. We'll propose the peace deal, and we should get our acceptance pretty soon. Yeah, one day, okay. Oh, but we don't get southern Turkestan. That's annoying. Well, we start colonizing here. Oh, yeah, we need to enact colonialism. That is something we need to go do, or else we will fail the challenge, which would be unacceptable. I'm gonna quickly conquer Shandong. That is one of the states that we're gonna need. We'll have to enforce mill access on China in order to get there, but yeah, that should be pretty good. With China and Shandong, we should be able to, or we'll need Yue and Hong Kong, I guess, to finish off China. Then we've got some stuff here with Russia. Russia should be dropping to minor power pretty soon. It's roughly at minus 67% prestige in bankruptcy that the 1 year mark. Well, that's incredibly inconvenient because I'm pretty sure you have a truce with Russia. That's so inconvenient. Unbelievable. 6 month truce? Bruh. There's no way. Mongolia? Wait, am I not on this list? There's no way I'm not on this list. Yeah, I'm here. 25 months left. Dang. So this is really annoying. Where's Russia's capital? It's here. So Russia's gonna lose this war. Almost certainly. Right? Yeah, Russia's gotta lose this. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Well, perfectly timed civil war to stop us. Well, the civil war very much complicates our situation because, yeah, we're gonna have to re-bankrupt Russia or something, or take enough of their states to make them drop to minor power normally or something. That's gonna be tough. Okay, we get colonial exploitation. I guess one advantage of this is the claims will go away, I think. Okay, we're gonna go for some conquest war goals on Ukraine. Oh, France is likely to join. Who cares about France? They're not strong enough to stop us. We shall go for an annexation of Ukraine. I don't think we need Lvov necessarily. Or, I mean, Volhynia. So, we'll, I guess, not take that. Or, wait. Russia, or Ukraine's, like, basically guaranteed to back down here, aren't they? Let's just primary some stuff. And then we'll fight them in a second war, I guess, for full annexation. I think this is going to be the play. Yeah, this has got to be the play. Great Britain sided with Ukraine. That's unfortunate. Because we already used up all the maneuvers, so we can't add anything against Britain, because there is some stuff we do need to take from Britain, like Hong Kong. Wait, we need to enforce mill access on China so we can go kill Shandong real quick. On the bright side, it looks like in order to win this, the Russian Liberal Revolt has gone into a lot of debt, which means that they should be getting pretty close to defaulting, along with Russia's debt and stuff. Hopefully they're going to be super close, and then with just our one war, we should be able to bankrupt them, or maybe even without a war. I don't know. Okay, Russia's out. They're in 13 million debt. That's not a good amount. I don't like that much. Yeah, that's not as much as we would like. On the bright side, since the revolution got Ingria, the market isolation is still working. Although I think they've now fixed their convoy rating, so it's not as bad. So they're going into 300k debt a week, so we'll just leave them alone as long as they keep going into 300k debt a week. The Germans are making it kind of far into my country, and I don't really feel like trying to reallocate troops, so we're just going to write peace to the Germans. Finally, we've occupied Kyiv, so this Ukraine war is going to be over soon. I think Russia's getting a little bit too much of their market access back. I think we got to go invade Russia. What do we want to invade Russia for? Oh yeah, Khorasamia is a really good state. Let's take that. Force the Diplo play, and then, yeah, we'll just conquer a bunch of other states from them, and take war reps. That'll be big for reducing their income. Something like this. Astrakhan and Rostov will, like, cut off the market more. Rostov, did we take that already? I'm trying to think in my brain. Did we already take that? Yes, we did. Oh, okay. What else do we want to? I guess Kovno will completely block off that way to get in, and then we can just take some random state like Armenia, I guess. Sure. Bloody proposes that we just lose Landfang. Sure. I don't care about Landfang. Oh, Britain's in this war as well. Maybe we shouldn't have pieced out then, because it doesn't really matter. Okay, the war has begun. We're just quickly going into Ingria. I think we should be able to get in pretty quickly. We also have conscripted a bunch of random battalions to have some defense over here, because otherwise we just get rolled into the capital, which would be very bad. Unfortunately, their capital is like here. A capital like Shaanxi would be better, but we don't have a homeland in that state, so we can't do that very easily. Wow, Shaanxi actually has a really good GDP per capita. We should build some government administration here. Let's just like double the number from 44 to 88. That should be good. I'll just quickly unpause construction in order to do that. Or we can actually go standardized filing system and then do a little bit less. Yeah, we don't need nearly as much with standardized filing system, I'm sure. Well, the British convoy raiding and stuff is kind of annoying. We also just don't have nearly enough convoys to ship everything over here. But, we're gonna have to try to defend, I think, until we can get Britain out of the war or something. I don't know. Until Russia defaults, maybe. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to do something. I think we're gonna delete all the textile mills from the construction queue, then unpause to build 1 million naval bases. Just, I think getting a bigger navy is gonna be kind of essential to winning this war. I think that means Russia's defaulting, right? Let's take a look. Yep, Russia is defaulting. So we'd like to white peace this war, but unfortunately Britain does not want to. Italy started to cut down to size play against us. What do you think you're doing, Italy? You're not even a real great power. You're a fake great power. No one really thinks Italy deserves to be a great power. Unfortunately, a couple people did join Italy, though, so this is going to be a bit tough. Okay, Russia proposes a white peace. We're going to take it. The hope is that Russia's definitely going to bankrupt and then go to minor power status, right? Russia should just bankrupt and go to minor power status, but the hope is that we can find a war to declare that they will turn against us in. And the answer to that is probably not, but maybe we will find something, or maybe we'll have to wait 5 years. Maybe they'll re-bankrupt if we have to wait 5 years. You're going down to 12 million GDP? Come on, Russia, just bankrupt. Okay, Russia has declared bankruptcy, which lowers their prestige down to 41, which is actually kind of unfortunate. That's going to mean that they're going to drop to insignificant, which means that they're going to be like going between those two ranks potentially. But yeah, we're going to have to wait for our 5-year truce. I think maybe they'll actually be able to stay a minor power for the 5-year truce. We'll see. What we do know is that they're going into debt again. How much debt are they going to per week? Let's take a look. 1.3 million to 1.44, so like 130k debt a week. That's pretty good. Demobilize one of our armies because we were getting kind of close to bankruptcy, and that would not be good to have to bankrupt. That would be very bad for sure. I guess I'm going to declare on Wallachia real quick here, just because I kind of would like to fight Great Britain over this if possible, so because we can get some of our states we want from Great Britain. There's a couple of states that we need from them. Southern Turkestan being the clear one, and then we also need Hong Kong. And I'm not sure if we need this state. We might, I don't know, I need to look at the borders again. Russia's dropped to insignificant power. If only we could protect them. We can't quite yet. But hopefully soon, when our truce runs out in 1927, we can try to go for it. Yeah, no one joined against me when I tried to take Wallachia, so I guess we'll go for Moldavia next. Because I think we do need these two states from Romania in order to complete the borders. Bruh, the secession took on some of the Russian debt. That better get back to them when they conquer it again. The Crimean uprising actually winning against Russia? That would be crazy. Wait, what? Is this... Oh, India's in this war against me. I didn't even realize that was going on. Well, I guess it's occupied now until we can let peace Italy. Crimea has won its independence from Russia. It's not in Crimea at all. It's the Tatars. Great. It looks like Russia's getting quite a bit of debt relative to their very low GDP. Let's take a look at a war to see how close they are to bankrupting. You can see that they are at plus 97 neutrality from size of loans. That means they're incredibly close to defaulting. Oh, plus 100 now. Yep, they're defaulting now. Well, that's going to reset the bankruptcy penalty, making them even further from becoming a major power before our war. This basically guarantees that they're not going to become a major power in our war or anything. I was going to white peace this, but I realized France has capitulated out of it, as well as India, so this is actually just a completely fine cut down to size war to stay in, because you can't get cut down to size while in a cut down to size play. Unfortunately, they were defaulting, but they managed to seemingly get out of default. Dang. Oh, they're back in default. It's very much a little bit of a weird thing here. Surely they'll bankrupt. They're not in any wars or anything, so why are they not bankrupting? I don't know. Okay, they bankrupted. Let's go. Looking at my map, it looks like we need Austria and Moldavia, so let's quickly go for that. Looks like Germany and Spain are likely to join, actually. That's going to be a big war. I think we can win it, though. Let's just force that diplomatic play, and we're going to send a bunch of troops over to deal with the evil Austrians and take our one state. We'll also, I guess, add Austrian war reps for sure. That seems nice. Mobilize a couple of battalions. Make sure we keep one army in North China. Should be kind of fine. Spain's in a revolution, but they join anyway. Crazy. And Germany. Yeah, well, this war doesn't look too great, but I think if we just occupy Austrian Moldavia through this front, we should be just getting the war goal, and that's all that really matters, is occupying the war goal. So that should just work out, except that they're moving troops over to this front now, so that's not really gonna work out, is it? And now they're on the front, but we can get some good battles in Moldavia. Nice. Just like fighting one troop. Okay, it looks like We don't really get too much easy stuff, but we do get a little bit of advancement, which is kind of nice. And we can just try to hold, I guess, or something. We got kind of a decent advantage here. Our average stats are apparently lower. I'm gonna raise the conscript army like this one again, because I think we're gonna need some conscripts in order to be able to win this war. Conscripts are always very nice, but we did want to keep them unraised for a while because we needed some money. They have 98 defense. This is gonna be really hard to break. Yeah, we're realistically not gonna be able to break this for a while. We're just gonna have to try to invade Russia, and then from there, we'll have to wait out Germany and stuff leaving this war. Actually, they're leaving pretty soon. Okay, the Germans are out of the war now, so we can kind of just win. That Germany is going to be pretty free to push, I believe. The power of shrapnel artillery will carry us without any Germans to stop us. We got a 58 advantage at this point. Yeah. Is our 258 stack arrived or whatever? Yeah, it looks like it has. We're just gonna destroy the Austrians, the worst country in the world. Okay, we occupied Austrian Moldavia, so we can get that as a war goal. And I guess also get Austrian war reps. Nice. Okay, well, the truce with Russia is now over, so we can go for a make protectorate play, except that's a lot of people who are gonna join the play. So let's declare for conquer Akmonolsk, or something that even Britain doesn't have an interest in ideally. West Siberia. Let's declare for conquer Krasnoyarsk. And then go for a protectorate Russia play, which will primary, and then we'll add some. Oh, do we need real revoke claims over here? Yeah, revoke claim Turkmenia, Uralsk. No, not Uralsk. And so Turkmenia and Khorasamia we need to actually revoke claim on. If they accept, I don't know what we'll do. That's just too bad. We'll have to find a way to colonize it anyway. Okay, now go on the fronts and go to defeat the Russians, hopefully. Except we're like 150 days away from the fronts. So that's just a minor inconvenience, really. By the way, I have no clue how Bukhara got independence. Like, this was my territory. I don't know how it got free. I'm realizing we need to primary revoke claim on Turkmenia. I think Khorasan, or Uralsk, or, yeah, Khorasamia, this one. It's such a tiny state. I think we can get away with not colonizing it until, like, the final 2 years or 3 years or whatever. But with, Turkmenia, it's like we own none of the provinces of the state, pretty much. It's going to be way harder to colonize, so we need that one primary. Okay, it looks like Russia is not backing down. So, how far away are we? We're 30 days away from the front? Okay, hopefully they don't make too much progress in those 30 days. We shall see. Okay, we're going to get on this front first, then it's going to be... Oh, okay, we get spaghettied. That's terrible. Yeah, getting spaghettied there is pretty annoying, but we can just push out from here. Hopefully push north to Pskov. Assign as many generals as we can. We can make it to Pskov. Does this time we have supply or not? It does. Nice. Okay, this should be the final battle getting into Ingria, I believe. And then from there, Russia should be capping out pretty quickly. We don't need the revoke claim on Sakhalin necessarily, so we can just peace out quicker without that. Then we need to peace out of the other war and reduce autonomy on all of our subjects, because we need the truces of our subjects to run out before 1936, so we need to reduce autonomy before 1931. Okay, Russia Protectorate, conquer Krasnoyarsk, revoke claims. Can we revoke claim here too as well? Okay, yeah, we can. Okay, Russia's now our protectorate. Very nice. Now, white peace. Now, grant state to, say, Kharkiv. That's going to be enough to reduce autonomy on Russia. Now we're going to grant states to Persia so we can reduce autonomy on them. And then we're going to grant states to Ottomans so we can reduce autonomy on them. Doesn't even grant Russian states, but whatever. Then we'll grant Ottomans stuff, and yeah, we're gonna make sure all of our subjects are protectorates, or make sure all of our subjects are puppets. Okay, reduced autonomy on everyone. Also, I ran a poll in my Discord, and by one vote, getting the states that were majority controlled by the Mongol Empire instead of all states partially controlled by the Mongol Empire has won. In case you're wondering what states this affects, it's Bhutan, Nepal, Sikkim, Dainam, Burma, and some other stuff over here in Southeast Asia. I assume I'll have put this earlier in the video, but here's a reminder of the borders we are attempting to achieve. They're not quite in the right scaling relative to the Victoria 3 map, but yeah, these are the borders we're hoping to achieve. Anyway, we're now going to go for southern Turkestan from Great Britain, along with the treaty port here. Yeah, just making sure they still have that treaty port. Take treaty port, Eastern Guangdong treaty port. I think this is all we need from Britain since we don't need this that we're not already in control of. What else could we possibly need? Yeah, I think we've got everything we need from Great Britain. Let's just quickly turn on the power block map mode to make sure. Yeah, that should be everything. So we can just try to fight this war now. Maybe add some revoke claims. You've got a claim on Bombay? Hmm. Sure, let's revoke claim on it. 'Cause I'm pretty sure they have to occupy Maharashtra in order to stop that from going through. Oh, America's attacking Britain at the same time. Okay, let's enforce military access on China so that we can take over Eastern Guangdong. And just making sure, yes, our revoke claim on Bombay Wargle is working. Also, I've done the math, and the colonization of Turkmenia is going to be really close. We really need to hope for a colonial uprising. If we don't get one by like 1933, we might need to just keep resetting over and over again until we get one. I was going to damage relations with Buryatia to invade them, but I realized we can just expel diplomats, not like infamy matters right now. And then let's just quickly take these guys over. Also want to take over Bukhara and Crimea, but I think these guys being closer to us, we can do them first, right? That seems kind of reasonable. Also, Bukhara is currently in a civil war. If they weren't, then we would do Bukhara first, because we want to try to get into this Khorasamia area ASAP. Oh, we just got a Turkmen native uprising. Very good. This is exactly what we needed. This will quadruple our colonization speed, which will make it easily enough to colonize this in time. Oh, Britain's war support is negative, so let's go for a quick little peace with Britain. Oh. Oh. Well, oops. Bit of a mistake there. Uh, we can just probably request to conquer this next time, and they should just hopefully accept if we just reload, maybe. I don't know. This is kind of annoying that we forgot that, but it's not that big of a deal. Guess we'll go in on Ukraine next. Gotta finish them off. Also, I realized we need East Galicia from Austria, but we can't get that right now. So, because we've got to choose with them, but if they join in any of our wars, we will try to take that from them. Okay, Ukraine accepts annexation now. Very nice. I'm just gonna quickly attack Peru, Bolivia with the hope that Britain will join against us, because I want to try to take Merv from them sooner rather than having to wait for the final year to do that. Okay, Britain's in the play. We will take, where is it gonna be? British Merv. Okay, we can't primary it unfortunately, but I guess we can declare some more war goals against Peru, Bolivia to make them more or less likely to back down. Something, yeah, I guess it's all you can really add against Peru, Bolivia. Revoke claim on no, yeah. I think that should be everything against Peru, Bolivia. I'm sort of destroying the British economy with convoy raiding right now. You know, they've got like 17% market access outside of the British. Oh, now it's 0. Yeah, we've just been sort of raiding their convoys over here, and they haven't really been doing anything to try to stop us. I maybe should build convoy raiders more often. It seems like it's really destroying the British. You know, their GDP has crashed like 50%, and they're probably maybe even going into debt. We look here, how much debt are they going into per week? They're going into, yeah, 400k debt a week. That's pretty bad when your economy is contracting. Oh yeah, Canada, you know, drops by 3x their GDP, and I'm sure that the British subjects over here in Africa aren't doing too well either. Wow, Australia got their GDP cut in like a sixth from like 60 million to 0. You can see it cut up to 70 million, but that's just because they got market isolated for a second. I try a quick little naval invasion of the British Isles. We'll see if we can get that off. That'd be really nice. We're currently kind of dying there, but who cares about that front? As long as they don't enforce Mongolian war routes, we're kind of fine. Parashi is our closest incorporated state. It's kind of close. That might end up being a pretty big problem. But unfortunately, we do have to defend against this naval invasion, so can't really send that many troops over to help with this. It's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, we're winning our naval invasions, but looks like they're sending a couple more troops back. Brazilians have sent some troops here. Giving up on landing the British Isles. It wasn't working too well. We're gonna send these guys over to the Persia front. I think it's gonna be pretty important to try to defend there. While we wait for Britain to cap out. Okay, Peru Bolivia proposes this nice little peace deal here. We will take it. Conquer British Merv has been done. I've spent like the last 15 minutes or something trying to find a way to not get my war gold bricked in this Bukhara war, just for them to back down. So I've now reloaded so you can see the back down. But this time I'm actually recording it because I was just trying to testing ways. And yeah, they backed down here, which is nice. I don't know why this wasn't happening in my other tests, but yeah, Germany's also cutting us down to size, and we're gonna invade Bukhara, except it's the other Bukhara. by the way, the reason we needed to do that was if we didn't do that, Khorasamia or Bukhara was going to, when we conquered them, it would actually be this Bukhara which got them, and then we'd get Wargle brick protection and get a Wargle on Khorasamia. Except we actually hate that a lot because that's going to mean that we don't get to conquer the state like ever unless we somehow get a subject to declare on it or something, because we're gonna have a truce with it until after 1936. So that's why we had to get something like that to happen. What I was gonna try to do was maybe like capitulate or send a white peace the second we occupy them, and hopefully they'd capitulate in the other war, but not in our war or something. I don't know what we'd be able to do, but I was hoping for something like that. But looks like it wasn't necessary. But we do now need to go defeat Germany, like pretty quickly. We don't have very long, so we need to be able to annex Russia pretty quickly here in order to be able to because if we can't annex Russia, then we have some big problems. Yeah, we gotta annex Russia, so we got all the conscripts I think raised for the most part. We got a couple more we can raise. We just gotta do everything we can to try to defeat Germany quickly, but I don't think that's gonna be very easy because Germany is very strong. Yeah, we're landing in. Oh, this is unincorporated. None of this is incorporated. Okay, well this isn't actually going to be on enforced war ups then. Do they have anything in the Poland strategic region? I don't know. Let's try a landing on Ostpreußen or something. They do have troops guarding this. Hmm. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, we're not really going to be able to enforce war apps very easily then. Actually, our best bet is going to be to land the Netherlands, like here or something, I think. The Netherlands have gotten enough defenders to where they're not actually going to be too easy to land. Oh, they just took off 1,000,000 of the landers as soon as we stopped landing, so let's just go forward again, I guess. We just need to do anything we can in order to win this. Germany's slowly dropping in war support. We need to wipe peace out of this as soon as possible so we can start annexing Russia and stuff. Looks like there's no defenders on West Preußen, so we're gonna go for it. We can get into West Preußen. That should be all we need. Yes, yes. Okay, good. Oh, they've got defenders last second. No! It looks like a lot of the defenders are gone. Can we maybe get a landing through here? We only got 41 offense. Oh, we've got barely any siege artillery here. Oops. Okay, yeah, we can't land that. Dang. Well, I guess we'll just land Estland or something. That seems like something we can do. The reason we need to end this so quickly is we need to finish the colonization of Turkmenia here because Russia has a claim on it, so we need to annex them ASAP. We got front spaghettied. Uh-oh. The front just got hyper spaghettied here. A bit of a problem. Okay, well, for some reason, every single troop in our country has decided that it needs to go work on this one little Tver front. That's not a very smart idea, troops. Okay, Germany finally offers a white peace. We'll take it. Now we need to annex Russia, like, immediately to start colonizing that. Yeah, we're gonna grant them some states, and mostly the states that will reduce their desire more, I guess. That would be easier that way. It shouldn't take that many states to get their liberty desire down to 0, which will hopefully give us... It should give us at least a 50% chance of annexing them, maybe more. Gonna give them all the states that are gonna be really effective. Okay, looks like they're now at 0, which gives us, oh, only a 30% chance. Okay. I'm gonna roll our 30% chance for the second time. Oh, what? No. 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 Okay, we're gonna try a couple of things to see if we can get that number of expected military power difference up. Or wait, well, actually, there's one thing that's pretty obvious we can do, but I don't think it's gonna do much. Just grant the entirety of Russia to make a country, but the problem is that Germany is contributing like the vast majority of the power projection, I believe. I mean, I guess they're contributing like 10% or maybe 20% with conscript. No, Germany's also got a bunch of conscripts, maybe like 10%. But I'm gonna try going chem warfare, and then we're gonna also remove all trench conscripts and replace them with siege conscripts, which I think should be better because they have more total stats, and hopefully that'll be enough. Okay, we just researched chem warfare, so let's see if that actually helps. Right now they're at 16 from, right now they're at 63 from expected military power difference. If we turn on gas warfare in one of our large armies, let's say this 138 stack goes from plus 63. Does it stay at plus 63 for real? Dang, what if we turn it on and more? Is it actually just gonna stay equal? That would be very annoying if this doesn't affect anything. Dang. So I was gonna try to annex Russia like this, but unfortunately, our expected military power difference has gone down. And so what we're going to do is grant a million states to China, annex China, because I'm hoping China, yeah, China doesn't have any huge supporters, so their actually military power difference is a little bit larger. So hopefully we can try to annex China. If we do some stuff, we can make the expected military power difference even larger, I'm sure. But yeah, the plan is just for me to annex China now. Okay, so now we're going to annex Tibet. And they say yes. Okay, now actually this gives us a bit of a problem. Okay, never mind. So I was scared that these states... So I'm a little bit unsure how this works, but we have two minus 50% conscriptable battalions. We still have conscriptable battalions. Oh, I guess we have other sources of conscriptable battalions I'm not thinking of. Yeah, mandatory service and stuff gives... Yeah, that's why. Okay, makes sense. I was a little bit scared that that's going to be a big problem, but yeah, we can just put infinite siege artillery in these, and hopefully this will be enough to get us over the edge and have Russia have 100 expected military power difference against us. We'll see if it works. We now have 1,711 conscripts in this army of siege artillery. Let's see how that affects the expected military power difference from 53 to plus 100. Yes, let's go. It worked. Now we're going to grant Russia some more states. Samara or something should be enough, probably, on its own. Or I guess we can just grant them random parts of the Ottoman Empire. Sure. What could possibly go wrong with that, right? I see nothing that could possibly go wrong with giving the Russians just random parts of the world. Like one oh, they're loyal now. Okay, well I guess this doesn't really matter. Because yeah, now we got max chance, but also they have max expected military power difference. Nice. Okay, now we're gonna request the annexation of Russia. And they accept. Let's go. The great Mongolian state. Now we can start trying to colonize Uralsk, and we've got a tiny bit of time here with colonialization rights. We're about to run out of those, but this little bit of time would be good. We need to colonize like 20 provinces, so I think this little bit of colonization rights is going to be easily enough to colonize it in time. Now we're quickly going to do our final war that I think we need against Austria for Ostgalizian. Except this is going to bring in a ton of people. What if we declare for like liberate Hungary? Is Danubia got less people in that strategic region? Looks like we might dodge Germany that way, so unless Germany has a defensive pact, which they don't. So we're going to declare Lib Hungary and then add conquer East Galicia as a war goal. And also some other stuff, probably, because we want to try to enforce this as quickly as possible. Ideally, we just get it back down, although that seems very unlikely. Something like this. Sure, we'll take this. Now we just need to send everything we can over there. We'll not have 1,700 siege artillery conscripts in one army. We'll spread these out more so that we can hopefully get good command limit and stuff. We just want to get as much pushing to Austria as quickly as possible because we have got like a year and a half to defeat Austria. Not actually, we've got less than that. We don't have much time. Okay, well, we're about to unlock chem warfare, which I think might end up being a pretty big thing for this. Yeah, we got so many conscripts lined up for this war. There's no way the Austrians can hold out for long. Surely, we got this. We just need to enforce very quickly here. We've got like a year and a bit to enforce. Because also after this, we need to annex some subjects, which will take like a month. So we need to complete this by like December 1939 or 1935. I mean. Oh, and Britain's in the war. We need to try to piece them out because they've got a war goal against us, which we can't capitulate to. So we're going to need to try to land the British Isles, or maybe we'll just be able to sign a peace deal here. I don't know. Maybe Austria will just back down. Probably not, but who knows. Okay, time to turn on chemical weapons as well as luxurious supplies on all of our armies that are big, because that's going to help out a ton for that plus 20 offense, which is absolutely huge. Yeah, we really need that 20 offense. Surely we can push through these evil Austrians. We need to push real fast to enforce in time. Yeah, it shouldn't be that bad, I think. We'll see. Almost through the list of army mobilization. Yeah, okay, looks like we've got all the big armies with chem warfare now. So we'll see how this goes. Do we have our army happy, powerful, or whatever? No, let's try to make them happy, powerful, I guess. That's gonna make things a little bit easier. Get that plus 20% offense defense. Yeah, we got an 80 advantage on the front. There's no way we don't just insta push through all this. Let's make like every general on advance because we've got such a big advantage. Yeah, surely we can just push through hyper quickly. Alright, war begins. We've got a year to push through Austria. And a million battles begin, and we're winning them all very nicely. We'd like more battles to start ideally, so I guess I'm just gonna grab some random armies and put them on the front. Ideally, rapid advancing. That'll be better. Yeah, we got this. We got this. We got this 200 stack currently in North China. Let's quickly move these guys over to the Albania front, because that is a little bit of a liability there. Okay, come on, Austria, you need to cap faster. Okay, we're making good progress. Got like a 99 advantage, which is kind of insane. How close are we to arriving on this front? It's like 17 days. Okay. We're making very good progress, though. We're already in Croatia. Very nice. Need to push up into Germany, or yeah, into Austria. We got this. We got this. It's still only February. We got like 8 more months. Okay. This will be fine. Like as soon as they go negative, I think we'll be able to send this peace deal because there's so many unenforced war goals that surely the AI will just accept it, right? Surely. We're gonna get our first occupation on the Austrian capital now. Okay, looks like we're gonna get this a little bit of time to spare. Very nice. This is like the final thing, pretty much. After this, it's just gonna be a bunch of wars that the AI is gonna accept. Okay, please. One more battle to take over Austria. Guys, come on. And then it's gonna be, please, Great Britain, accept the peace deal. Surely Great Britain will accept the peace deal. Surely. Great Britain doesn't. We're in a bit of a pickle, though. Okay. Um, and okay, yes, Great Britain is willing to accept the peace deal. Let's go. Very nice. All those pluses helping us out a lot. This is all we need, I'm pretty confident. Okay. Very nice. Now, Uralsk just needs to finish colonizing. It's colonizing pretty slowly, but surely we get there in time. We'll have to do the math real quick here. 23 days. We've got, yeah, 5 provinces. Oh, no, this is going to be really close, but it's going to colonize before the end, I'm pretty sure. This is going to be like 16 weeks, so that's like not that long. We got this. Now we'll start out by trying to annex China next, I guess. We'll grant them some states and then annex them. Okay. Annex China real quick here. Please accept. Please accept. Yes, you do. Okay, nice. Okay, now Persia gets to be annexed. And yeah, there's Persia. Now we'll do Muharamara next. Okay, please Muharamara get annexed. Okay, it looks like they accepted. Nice. Yep, they did. Now I believe Ottomans are the last thing we need for our borders, so let's just quickly grant Ottomans some states to reduce their desire as well. Okay, annex the Ottoman Empire. Very nice. Okay, and they should be accepting, otherwise it shouldn't take this long. Yep, okay. Now we just wait. We can stop passing secret police so that the movement goes away. Now we just wait for Turkmenia to get colonized, and that's going to be the end. Okay, this is the last tile, I'm pretty sure. We can look at it with this map. Yeah, this is the last tile. Okay. Please, 10 days, and Mongolia will be complete. The Great Mongolian State, some could even say. Then I think maybe we'll... Yeah, okay, there we go. Colonization of Uralsk is done. Now I'm thinking maybe we give away the states that are clearly not within the Mongol Empire borders, so we can get a bit of a better ending borders. Oh wait, I forgot about Korea. We need to annex them. Oops. Oh wait, and Alaska is here? What? I don't know why Alaska's there, but I guess we'll have to deal with Alaska as well. Why are they there? I have no clue. But okay, we'll guess give their states over back. I just realized I think this was territory the Mongols owned ever, but anyway, we'll annex them anyway, and we'll just manually. Yeah, this is the borders we end up with, and now we're going to try to give away the states that were not a part of the Mongol Empire, I guess. So it looks like we're going to need to release Bulgaria. It's going to be a pretty big releasable that we don't actually need any of the territory of. Then we're also going to need to give away all the stuff west here, so let's give some stuff over to Serbia over here, southern Serbia, and Montenegro. I guess we'll also grant you Macedonia. I think is what this state's going to be called. Yeah, Macedonia. Grant that to the Bulgarians. Now, we also don't need Eastern Thrace, so let's grant that over to you, as well as the East Aegean Islands, I believe we don't need. And Huda Vendigar, we don't need. Huda Vendigar. I think, Castamontu, we don't need either. Or Aden is a little close, but I think it's not over 50%, so we'll grant that. It's close. We'll keep it, I guess. Is there anything else we want? Oh wait, we don't want them to have Dobruja, so let's use the take state interaction to take back Dobruja from them. And then, is there anything else that I'm seeing wrong here? Oh yeah, we need to release Lithuania. Lithuania. Okay, there's Lithuania. Then I think we also don't want Poland. Yeah, let's release Poland, I think. Poland, where are you gonna be? Somewhere in this list. Why is Poland not here? I'm just blind, probably. Okay, there's Poland. Poland actually gets East Galicia, which is a bit of a problem, because I don't think we want to give that away. So actually, we'll just give this to Lithuania, I guess. So we want to give bloc, and then Warsaw, and Lublin. I think maybe also Hrodna. Let me take a look. Nah, I think this is good. Okay. Also released Oman and stuff. Yeah, I think this is... Oh, well, actually we need to do the north. Yeah, we'll do the north. So we'll release Kamchatka or something for the north. Tongass will work, I guess. And then... So we're looking here. And this looks like Irkutsk we need to keep. But like Yakutsk we don't. Kolyma we definitely don't. Let's go through and decide on each of these northern states. Okay, so just to end it off, here's the map, here's my map, here's the map. Here, yeah, it looks like it's pretty accurate. So I think this is going to end off the video. Goodbye.